Good morning. On behalf of Atty. Karen Jimeno, I am Ferdi Salvador. Today, we sit down with a woman whose beauty, grace, and purpose transcends the pageant stage. A woman making a powerful comeback here at the forefront. She once wore the crowns of Miss Globe in 2003 and Miss Earth in 2004 on the global stage, but it was the Philippines that won her heart. From being a model and beauty queen with the purpose of protecting the earth and empowering women to become a wife, mother, and advocate. Her life's journey is a testament to strength and grace under pressure. It's shaped by trials and transformation. What does it take to finally walk away from a failed marriage? What fuels Priscilla Meirelles' fire today? With us this morning is one of the most beautiful women on earth, Priscilla Meirelles. Good morning.
Good morning, Ferdi.
It is a wonderful thing to be chatting with you this morning. I haven't seen you in a long time,
Yes.
but I see a different glow, a different energy. But let's start. Let's talk about your life in Brazil and here in the Philippines. We're going to be showing you a few photos.
Nice.
And what their relevance is to you, okay? And then we're going to
Okay.
ask, we're going to give you 30 seconds per photo.
Nice.
I don't have any tissue in front of me, but don't you worry. It's going to be a fun
Don't
morning.
worry, I've been trained through the years how to cry with grace.
And under pressure.
I'll just use my hands.
Yes. All right. So in 30 seconds, we're going to show you a
Yeah.
photo on the screen. You were born on September 5, 19 bleep bleep, or can I say the date?
You can say I'm proud.
1983 at
Yeah.
Belém de Pora in Brazil's Amazon region, but you
Yes.
grew up in Manaus.
Yes.
And in 30 seconds, describe to us your growing up years in Manaus. Timer starts now.
Oh my gosh, I actually moved to Manaus when I was 11. Out of the blue, my parents have business all over Brazil, and then one day we went there for vacation and we never came back. So literally, I moved there with a suitcase. But I grew up like learning to love the place. I really like adapt the culture, and I become Miss Amazonas and being representing Manaus and Amazonas throughout my pageant life and actually up to now. So I do feel that I belong there.
Yes.
Love the place, love the people.
Yes, I've been to Manaus before. It's the gateway to the Amazon.
Exactly.
Was that part of your childhood, going to the forest?
Yes, definitely. Like big part of my childhood is really going to the forest, going to the river, desiccating, crocodiles,
Oh my
things like
goodness.
that, hunting for anacondas, things like that. So I did experience everything, planting trees. So I do remember I was the director for a couple of years of the Future Scientists Club of my school. So
Yes.
my advocacy, and that's why I ended up going into Miss Earth through the pageants, because we would go in like very poor neighborhood, we'd plant trees and teach the kids, to love nature, and we'd study, how you can be like more proactive as a society.
Yes, but can you imagine living in Manaus and becoming Miss Earth? I mean, you were basically primed to do this.
Yeah, well, I think that everything that happens in life is really like God's, finger. Because I remember that I have no idea where the Philippines was. The Philippines, I heard it's in Asia. I said, is it part of China? I have no clue.
That's controversial. We shouldn't say that.
I'm sorry, but it's just like really what my early thoughts when I learned that I was supposed to come to the Philippines to represent the country, to my country, Brazil. And then eventually, everything I've done until that day of my life, it kind of
Yes.
so aligned perfectly. So it's really God's plan.
Yes.
So I end up here.
Your parents are professionals. Your
Yes.
father is an ad executive, and your mother is a businesswoman,
Yes,
right?
yes.
How did that form your career in, let's say, modeling, commercials, and the like? Was your
Yeah,
father
actually,
a big force behind that?
Yes, maybe like I do credit my dad for the creative side that I have, and that's why I adventure a different business, even back home.
Yes.
So going into the beauty pageant world, it was not really something that I planned. I was just one day spotted at the mall, And then they
How old
asked
were
me,
you?
I was 18, and they
Okay.
asked me to join this pageant. That's the biggest pageant in, actually one of the biggest soccer amateur pageants in the world. It's in the Guinness Book of
Yes.
Records, and I needed to compete to almost 1,000 candidates. And they
Oh.
told me I was turning 18. The major prize is a car, so my eyes went bling bling. bling.
I want that car.
I want a car.
But you were going to become a
A
medical
doctor,
professional.
yes,
Yeah, a
which is
doctor.
completely out of the line. Because my mom, the dream of my mom is really for me to continue the legacy of the family, which is business.
Yes.
So she wanted me to go into administration, maybe become, economy, something like that, in that line. Because I've been going to the office since I was 11.
Yes. And what business is that she was involved
We
in?
have car dealerships around Brazil. We have also real
Wait,
estate
Priscilla,
development.
You have a car dealership and you went to the pageant to try to win a car.
Yes, of course.
And
Because it's different. If it comes from my mom's business, or if I want, it's by my own merit. Because I grew up with a single parent. Like my
okay.
mom, she was my mom, my dad, very hardworking. So I've grown up seeing her doing, so much. So I didn't want her to need to buy me the car. I want to, to get the car on my own merits. And then when they told me, oh, it's a car, I said, okay, it's like it to be something that, it's not coming from my mother.
yes.
So I got excited about it.
You just mentioned that your mom is a single parent, so you have a modern family situation.
Yes.
Who did you spend more time with? Your
With
father?
my mom.
With your mom?
With
Did
my
you-
mom.
And what about your father? How was your
He
relationship?
was more of like the vacation dad. I would go once a year, spend 1 month with him during the vacation, summer break. And that's the most he would do for us. But, I always felt in love and everything. But my mom is really the one that brought us up, the one that paid for all the bills.
Yes.
So she's really like my role model.
She's a Roman. She's the one that
Yes.
shaped you.
She's the one that shaped me.
What about your siblings? Have you got any?
I have one sibling, so it's just the two of us. He's a boy, he's 1 year younger, and now he's the one taking care of the business, which I supposed to be doing originally. That's what my mom wanted. But she knew that I was passionate about becoming a doctor. I always wanted to be a doctor since I was a child. And then the pageantry world just swept me away from all my dreams, and then I ended up in the Philippines and ended up doing things and finding new passions that I didn't know that I had at the time.
I think you can still cash in on that car from your mom. I think you should. All right. Miss Earth 2004, you were the first Brazilian to become Miss
Yes.
Earth. And in 30 seconds, tell us how your pageant journey started before becoming Miss Earth in 2004. Timer starts now.
Okay, there is a lot of doubt that was put. There's a lot of pressure that I put on myself because I really wanted to accomplish something big for my country. And then when I came to the Philippines and acquainted me with the culture and really give my all to the pageant and to representing my country and the things that I believe, I do think that came across. And I was just fortunately, and I do remember I had a dream that I was winning and did happen that night. So I
Wow.
do think that dreams come true.
Wow, you were able to,
I dreamt
to
about it.
manifest
I
that.
manifested it.
All right, I'm going to ask you. Brazil is also a fevered country when it comes to beauty pageants like the Philippines.
Yes, it is.
But who's more obsessed, the Filipinos or the Brazilians?
The Filipinos. No doubt.
Oh, wow. But what was your first impression when you got to the Philippines?
I was in awe with the people and how crazy they were about beauty pageants. I remember very vividly, I did not eat at any event because I need to take thousands of pictures. I can't not eat.
It was
I would
physically
like
impossible.
get a spoon and try to fit picture Miss Brazil, and
So
I
you had a
cannot.
spoon like that, and
I've never, which was a good thing. I lost a lot of weight during the pageant, which led to me winning I was already in good shape, and then I became even a better shape.
Yes.
Because Filipinos are just really so, crazy about pageant and so crazy about beauty queens.
Yes, we're very passionate.
And I do appreciate, and I wanted to take every picture that it was requested from me because I understand, as someone that also have idols,
Yes.
that it takes a lot for someone to approach you for a picture.
Has
And to
that-
be rejected, I cannot do that.
Of course, but everybody loves you here too. Has that impression changed over the years?
No, I still do believe that they're still crazy about pageants and beauty queens, and then they're very warm. And it's just generally like people that are just too friendly and enjoy too much. So I like that, that warm about the culture, the way they approach foreigners, how welcoming they are. And I think that's a major reason why I decided to stay longer in the Philippines, because I felt at home.
Yes.
I felt that the people were way too kind. And that made me feel at home.
Do you still remember the question that made you win?
Oh, something about a nature, Mother Nature telling me, what is she telling me, something like that. But I cannot exactly remember the exact answer because everything, it's really like on the moment.
Yes.
And what, it comes in the heart and it goes through the mouth. So
What was your, aside from your first impression of the Philippines, what particular thing about the Philippines, not the Filipinos, attracted you to the country?
I think the weather, because it's very familiar to home. So a lot of people do complain. I was attending an event last night, birthday of Rufa, and there is someone that is complaining about the weather, how warm, how hot it is here. And I'm like telling that person, actually, that's what made me feel at home because back home is so hot. So I didn't need to adjust that much to the weather. And I also love, the natural resources of the Philippines, 1,000 plus islands.
Yeah, I see your
amazing
photos
beach.
with your
Oh my
daughter.
gosh,
You're
yeah.
always traveling with
Exactly,
with
I try to make the most out of it. And I'm really like in a mission of getting to know other islands of the Philippines. I hope I can accomplish that because the place is just outstanding.
Let's calculate that. One island per month. And let's calculate how many years it's going to take you. But you know what? You later hosted, because you won your titles, you hosted beauty pageants and judged beauty pageants.
And I did organize.
And organize, really?
Yes, back home.
What was more difficult, being a contestant, a judge, or a host?
Definitely, or
producer.
A producer. A producer, because then it's not, you're not the only priority. You need to overlook everything, and it makes sure that everything comes, into action at the right time. So during my time, it was a live show. We do live on TV, so nothing can go wrong. And
just like right now,
exactly.
nothing can go wrong.
And there's so many elements you need to take care. And I was very hands-on because being a candidate, having the background of being a contestant, I know how they feel. So I need to be
the
sensible.
back end and the front end.
And at the same time, I need to be very productive and goal-oriented. So to find the balance is not easy, but I did with passion because it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I believe.
Would you produce a beauty pageant again?
Yes, I would.
Is there anything in the horizon?
I don't know. Is there anything? I'm open for
Hi, folks. Okay, as a TV series actress, 1 year after winning Miss Earth in 2004, you joined ABS-CBN Star Magic as a host and an actress. In 30 seconds, tell us why you decided to stay in the Philippines and how did you make your adjustments here possible? Timer starts now.
Okay, I decided to stay in the Philippines because, how I said earlier, I felt at home. And it was a great opportunity to grow as a person, and I love to learn new things. So all the opportunities they were giving me during that time did make me to become like a better version of myself. And I'm always up for challenges. And then, of course, becoming an actress was never in the plan, but I did have so much fun. And I'm hoping to go back to it very soon.
Oh my goodness! But of course, coming from Brazil, where it's different but similar to the Philippines. I mean, the culture is very similar, very family oriented. How did your family feel about you moving to a country they didn't even know about?
My stepdad, at that time, was very disappointed.
Ooh.
And he was very vocal because I was in my third year medical school, and his dream was always to have a daughter, that became either a lawyer or a doctor, and I was supposed to be the first one.
Are you sure he's not Filipino?
No, he's not. But it's like he had so many dreams, and he had a lot of kids, and his real kids, never became anything that he wanted them to become. And then I was his last hope, perhaps, to become a doctor or a lawyer. And when I moved, he was very vocal that he was disappointed because there is just 2 years more to go, and I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
But when he came
Understandable.
Very understandable. Yeah. And he did invest a lot because medical school back home is very expensive.
Yes.
So when he came to visit me in the Philippines, he told me right away, I'm so proud of you. Because you're the only girl, you're the one that made the farthest. You're the one that... it's completely on your own, never call home for help.
Are we going to start crying right now? It's happening.
And every time they would come, I would treat them to trips, to everywhere. So I think it's really like part of the accomplishment, something that I really aim to give to my parents, and especially him that was never like my biological father, but provided me so much.
How did you feel when he said that?
I was really like teared-eyed because that day he understood what I meant when I left. I told him, I call him Tito. And in Portuguese, we say tio. Maybe perhaps you don't understand now, but one day you will. Because I really I wanted to build a path of my own. I didn't want to do something that's because my parents wanted me to do, because it's convenient. Because the easier route would be like for me to follow the footstep what they want me to do. That's take care of the family business, and then I'm very safe, secure there financially and everything. And I always wanted to explore the world. It's so big. My dream is really traveling, going to different places to learn new things. And I always had this adventurous soul, and I always wanted to explore that. And then when I came to the Philippines, that was an amazing opportunity for me to do that.
Yes.
And at the time, of course, they're very dependent of me in many ways.
Yes.
And they're hopeful that I'm like
Was it heavy for you to hear your stepfather say that he was disappointed?
Oh yeah,
more your mother or more your father?
My father, my stepfather.
Rather,
my
your stepfather or your mother?
She was heartbroken,
Oh,
which
my
is
goodness.
she was crying. I remember she got into a depression for many years.
No.
Because we're too close. We're like best friends. So I did not know. I found out years later that she was very depressed because I was not around. Because it's different for you to to be like across another city, to be across the planet. It's a totally different situation. That's why
Do you feel guilt because you found out about, number one, the disappointment, and then later on you found out about your mom's feelings?
Not guilt, but I felt sad because I knew that the connection that we have, was something that brought really a lot of, a lot of happiness to her life. Maybe because our energy syncs so well. And with my brother is different. So the connection I have with my mom and the connection I have with my mother is very different. And even with my stepdad. So they're really like, I understand why they miss me so much. But at the same time, with the age that I was so young and, the willingness of explore and learn new things, I think it was not selfish in the sense that, I really have the right to explore for myself and see the world with my own eyes.
Yes.
So the opportunities are being given to me, and I think it would be stupid of me to not take it.
Correct.
And to see the other side of the coin.
Let's talk about something lighter because the crew already has tissue on standby. You're about to make me cry. So talking about learnings and learning new things, you learn how to speak Tagalog.
Exactly.
Iba ka. Paano mo
Yeah, I
natutunan ng
learned.
Tagalog?
You know what? So funny. I have this friend. Her name is Marvi Young Lim, and she has her kids. And then the kids had a tutor, Tagalog tutor.
So sumali ka.
Parang ganon. And then 18 years after, that's my best friend. That actually my road manager. So she taught me how to learn Tagalog. And the way she taught me how to learn Tagalog, aside from using the comics in Tagalog, she'd always bring me yung mga chismis, yung mga tabloids.
Mga tabloids. So alam mo na kung sino yung writer.
Yes, lahat. Ang kilala ko sila lahat. So after we have the classes, usually we'd have classes like Starbucks or at my condo, like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. So we would meet for an hour and she'd bring all these tabloids. And this is my homework. Okay, dala mo sa bahay ito. Tapos, try to understand lahat. Bukas, in-explain mo sa akin kung ano chismis dyan. So that's my...
Mahirap ba matuto ng Tagalog versus because your mother tongue's Portuguese?
Yes.
Mahirap ba ang Tagalog?
Sa totoo, honestly, mahirap yung Tagalog.
Okay.
Because, the words are way too long.
Yes.
And then the way the tongue...
Bababa ka ba? Bababa?
Exactly. Ang dami. Dagdag na dagdag eh.
Dagdag,
diba?
dagdagan.
Exactly. Tapos,
Alright.
the NG, it's something else. Nga. Now I can
Nang.
say, but... sometimes it still comes out right, sometimes it still comes out wrong. It depends
Just
on the
don't
day.
add TA before the nga. Because that will be different. All right. But this helped you out. The Tagalog, learning about it, the language helped you out because you became an actress.
Yes.
You actually appeared in Be My Lady in 2016, Wildflower, which is highly
Yes.
successful, and Haplos in 2017. Bagong Umaga also,
Yes.
2020 and 22. Well, during the pandemic, right?
Yes.
What did you like about acting and being involved in teleseries?
I think it's exactly the fact that I can just pretend anything and, I can somehow explore new roles. Like, it is just like, I remember I used to love to play, pretending when I was a kid. Pretend to be this. And that's how I find out that I want to become a doctor. Because I would play, I'm pretending to be a doctor. So when you're an actress, you can actually somehow go back to that childhood dream that you can pretend to be whoever, whatever you want.
Do you still want to pursue that?
Yes,
being a doctor?
yes.
It's never too late, no?
Exactly. Actually, I did approach my daughter and ask her if it was okay for me to go back to school, because that's one of the things that I have for my plan, for this new wing of my life right now. And then she said, Mommy, can you wait a little bit?
Why?
I said, okay, because we're very close, and then she feels that since now I went back to work, and she can see that I'm getting busier and busier. She said, Mommy, if you also go back to school, I might not see you at home anymore.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I told her, okay, Mommy, wait a little bit. So maybe she's now 13, eventually she's gonna be 16. I think 3 years from now, it's not that late, because I did have a classmate that was 55 when he went, medical school. So I think I can still pursue that.
I think
It
you
just
can still pursue that.
3 more
What kind
years.
of doctor would you like to be? Have you played a doctor in other teleseries?
Not yet. That would be fun.
Yeah, but what's
Not
your
yet.
favorite one? Before I ask you what kind of doctor you want to become.
I wanted to actually go into plastic surgery and
I love Priscilla Meirelles.
reconstructive plastic surgery.
I love it. I mean, let's keep it real, diba? Let's keep it
Don't
real.
worry. When that time comes, I give you discount.
I was like thinking of it being more like free, but yeah, sure, why not? All
Discount
right.
for, it's very expensive, medical school.
All right, let's talk about something which is been happening in your life recently. You and John confirmed that your relationship in 2007, before tying the knot in 2011, in a beachfront ceremony. I remember that
Yes.
in La Union. In 30 seconds, tell us how you met John and how he pursued you and made you say yes. Timer starts now.
Okay, I met John sometime 2007 in a restaurant in Eastwood. I was still the reigning Miss Earth. And then after that, I met him again, moving forward. That was 2004, 2007 in Greenbelt, in a restaurant called Nouveau. And then he just stalked me throughout. And then he was just very persistent. And just found out I went a number, and then he invited me for an event, saying that he was organized, that he wasn't. And eventually, after insisting so much, I said yes to have dinner with him.
Oh my God. Well, interesting. Pero sa Tagalog,
Sa Tagalog.
paano magmahal si Priscilla Meirelles?
Oh my gosh, siguro. Siya o kahit sino?
Ikaw, kahit sino.
Kahit
Single
sino.
ka ngayon, ma'am.
Okay, sa akin kasi, humor is very important.
Humor is
Dapat
important, yeah.
meron talaga. Tsaka, consistency, connection, loyalty. So, I think kailangan talaga may combination ng, sa totoo, maganda yung puso. Yung hinahanap ko, of course, kailangan medyo matangkad, Ferdi.
I'm out of the
Mahilig
game,
ako sa
guys.
heels.
Hindi na ako mag-a-apply.
Mahilig ako sa heels eh. So, kailangan medyo, compatible yung height. Sana compatible din yung itsura. I still want to have kids, by the way, guys.
Wow!
Yeah.
How many kids do you want to have?
I always dreamed to have many kids. And then, unfortunately, it did not come true because...
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Because when I find out who I got married to, I decided one is enough. That was my smartest move ever. One is
Oh my
enough.
goodness.
But I'm still,
Yes,
I'm very
doctor.
healthy.
Yes, I think
According
it's
to my doctor, my ovaries are like
viable.
babies, very viable.
Yes.
They look like, brand new.
So it's breaking news right here at the forefront that Priscilla is still pursuing the dream of having a lot
Yeah,
of
to
children.
add. It would be so nice. I think 2 or 3, like maybe 2 more, at least 1 more. So kailangan medyo may itsura din.
Yes.
Kasi gusto ko good-looking babies.
Yeah, but John, let's go back to this and children. John also has
He has,
beautiful
yeah.
children
Yeah,
from
he
other
does.
people, and they call you Atty.
Yes.
Right? How's that relationship?
Very good. Something that was never affected. And I'm
Nice.
very, very nice, very happy to say that. So when I see the kids, it's just like before. And I think the connection, because whatever we built throughout the years, it was not overnight. I spent a lot of time with them. So it's meaningful. And whatever happened between me and their dad,
That's
it's
your business,
out. Yeah, it has nothing to do with my relationship with them.
Yes, I'm sure you researched when he was talking. You researched on John.
Yes, I did. I Googled it, but I didn't find much.
Really?
The only thing I found, honestly, to be honest about it, that he had kids, and in the Google that time said he had 5 kids, when I found out it's actually 4 eventually, because it included Luigi, which was the son of his ex-partner with someone else.
Yeah.
And then,
who's turned out to be a stand-up citizen.
Yes, and then I find out also that he was previously married.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the reason why they split, it was because he cheated in the ex with a co-host or something like that.
Allegedly cheated.
Allegedly. Oh, well, sorry, I think I'm going to get into trouble.
No, you said allegedly. So
I said allegedly,
Yes. But do you... how should we say it? Was that a warning sign that there was alleged news?
Yeah, but that's the problem. You know, John is really good in convincing you.
Okay.
In saying things, maybe because this was his intention originally. I don't know. He was very open about it. Yeah, I did those things. I'm not proud, but I'm in a different, stage of my life. I'm more mature, and this is what I want now. I want to settle down. I want to have a family. I love you. I want to have more kids. And then let's make this work. I promise you that, I'll be different because I love you. I think you're the one. And we did have like a dream wedding.
Yes.
So everything that he told me at the time, it made sense.
Yes.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I was very naive and in love.
But you had good years.
Oh, of course, we did have good years.
That was worth it. And you have a child.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Bonus right there, right?
But I really think that you cannot really teach old dogs new tricks. So I learned that in my lifetime.
I love my interview session right now. This is the best.
So, I learned the hard way. So I'm very glad to share that with other ladies. You can never teach old dogs new tricks. So
yes.
Just stick with that.
You know what? I lost my train of thought because right. Talking about kids, your daughter Samantha and Anechka just turned 13, as you said, this year. In 30 seconds, tell us how difficult was it for you to explain to your daughter that your family situation has changed? Timer starts now.
Not at all.
Oh, really?
Because she was part of what was happening, even though that we tried not to make her part. So she's seen things. And one of the things my daughter saw is that how unhappy I was, which is not good. So when I explained to her what's going to happen, she said, "Mommy, as long as you're happy, that's what matters to me. I understand."
How did you feel about that?
I feel relieved because I think it was the best age for that to happen. I was very concerned that she was a lot younger. It would be differently. Maybe that's the reason why I waited a little bit longer. And when she was a little bit more mature to actually go through that process.
Yes, it seems like you're a person that that's not selfish with relationships and sharing yourself and your children. That being said, how's your daughter's relationship with her father?
It's better now than before because now the more he's present, he really, because before that's one of the things that, it will hurt me. It's when I would, ask him to be in a certain event or to do something, and he would always say, "That's your job." As if, everything that happens around, it's like, it's my job to take. And maybe that's one of the reasons why we clash, because parenthood for me, it's very different. Marriage for him is
What is parenthood to you?
I think
What's
it's
your
like,
style?
it's a teamwork.
Okay.
It's a teamwork. It's not because, you're the father or the mother or you're the one that always working or always at home, that it should be just solo, one side responsibility to take care of the child or oversee the child. Because I understand that his schedule is very busy, but I did see him doing time for a lot of things. So
What?
like for friends and golf and, and other things. I understand that he needs to pay himself off also, but, because he really, when he does work, he really works so hard. And for other things, anyways, but I mean, like, in the end of the day, you choose to be a parent. It's not something that it's just like, oh, I don't want to be a parent. You choose to be a parent. And then when you engage in any kind of commitment, you need to give you 100%. So I did work, during the time of my lady, for instance, I would arrive from Taipei at 3 in the morning, and I would sleep until 6 and bring my daughter to school. because it was important for me that I would be there present, so that, you know, in her growing years, she see a mother that's present. So I would sacrifice what I need to sacrifice to make sure that she's okay.
Yes.
You know, so of course, I expect that my partner would somehow go to some length of, you know, doing the same. And I felt many years of my marriage that I was alone.
Okay.
Perhaps he's the one paying the bills, but I'm the one solo parenting. And then maybe he would come up in the weekends, but I don't think that's enough. Because in the end of the day, if you claim that this is the love of your life, this is your child, you know, this is your priority, then you need to walk your talk.
Absolutely.
So in a marriage or any commitment that you come into, you know, you need really to walk your talk. I don't like people that just talk. You need to follow with the steps. So that was one of the things that I think that our marriage did not really succeed like longer, and maybe a lot of conflict came out from that, because if I tell you and if I go into something, I really give my all. There is no excuses, and then not everybody's like that. And for me, it was very difficult to accept that I need to be the one fighting for something that I didn't supposed to.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, you recently made a stunning comeback in this bench fashion show, which was wow. What
you.
did that moment symbolize for you? But before you answer that, we're going to take a short break, Priscilla. We'll be right back here at the forefront. Welcome back at the forefront. We are still with the stunning Priscilla Meirelles, and the questions we've asked her: who is the new Priscilla Meirelles that you want the world to see? So you just had an amazing comeback.
Thank you.
And wow, from going from in a little difficult stage to a bench fashion show. Which actually your former partner was part of before,
Yeah,
no?
me too.
Yes.
Like back in 2008. Oh,
How did you feel, you know, showing off your body and your new energy?
I was proud. I cannot, you know, I was very proud of myself for really like giving my all, and really like trying to reinvent myself, and you know, and trying to start a career again, because it's always harder the second time around. And then one of the things that I've struggled throughout my years of marriage, you know, and is that I was never really given the right chance to really like shine through, because I need to put my family first, my kids first, my husband first. So it did frustrate me that I couldn't do the things that I love. And then when certain things in my personal life didn't go well as I planned, I never planned really to separate. And I decided that, okay, I should focus my energy in something that I actually can get something
Which
good
is you.
out. Yeah, that's me. It's my progress, you know. And that time, my physical progress was really like something that I needed to focus, because I did come from a surgery. I had an endometrial cyst. And then prior to the bench, I just had a major surgery.
Really? Before
yes,
that?
open surgery, yes. So during that time, it was a very scary time of my
Tell me,
life.
sorry, can you educate me? What was the
Yes.
surgery about, and what was the condition?
Yes, I find out during the pandemic that I had a endometrial cyst in my abdominal muscle.
Okay.
And that caused me a lot of things, and
Pain.
excruciating pain.
Yes, it's like your guts being red.
Yes, it's really bad. And then I couldn't function, and I tried different treatments, and most of the treatments I tried was hormonal based, and because of that I gained so much weight.
Okay.
But it was not able to address my problem, because apparently my uterus are very strong. So
That's why we can add to the brood. Yeah. And
then basically what happened was I needed to go into surgery to remove the cyst.
Okay.
And then it's open surgery, like you're having like a CS to
Yes,
deliver a baby, but the cyst
absolutely.
came out.
Yes.
And then a few months after, like around maybe 4 or 5 months after, my doctor allowed me to go back to working out. And prior to that, there is a time that I thought, because I was also depressed, you know, there's a lot of things going on. I thought that could have been cancer. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so young. I haven't really done half of the things that I want to do. And maybe one day I'm just gone.
Oh my goodness.
So when I came from that realization, I said, okay, this is the time now that I need to really like completely change everything. Reinvent myself.
Okay.
That's not working for me. And then I went and I dedicate myself to the gym, into a healthy diet.
That's how you lost 40
And a lot
pounds.
of people ask, what is the secret? It's really dedication and, mindset. So I remember for 6 months, all I eat is, it's a steak, sometimes chicken, and then I would have egg, camote, tea, and a fruit.
Was it a struggle for you because you're fighting two different things at that point?
In the beginning, it was hard.
Okay.
In the beginning, it was hard because I love ice cream and bread and things like that. So
Pão de queijo.
I love pão de queijo, but I mean, the mindset that what I want, because I think everything in life, Ferdi, it's like, how bad do you want that?
Yes.
And I really wanted so bad because I needed to prove to myself that I can still do it. I needed to prove my worth to myself, not to anyone else, to myself.
So after the surgery, after losing 40 pounds, then you got on stage at a major fashion show.
And I remember, they put me in a one piece. Noel put me in a one piece. I said, Noel, do you have two pieces? Like, oh, do you want a two piece? I said, yes. Because in my mind...
There we go. Yeah, it's in the screen.
Yeah, so in my mind, why not? Because I've been working so hard. I think I can afford... my belly is still a little bit swollen because of the surgery.
Yes, but that's a real woman's body.
Oh, thank you.
So they say. But how did that moment feel when you got on stage and you walked that catwalk? What was going inside your head?
It felt like it was just yesterday that I was doing my pageants. It was just yesterday that I actually catwalk for bench for the first time. It's like more than 10 years of my life haven't really passed.
Yes.
And I felt that, wow, there is no limit for what the mind and the want, can do.
That's very interesting, Priscilla. Were there moments when you wanted to give up?
During that journey, no. Before, many times. But during that journey, when I decided that I needed to transform my body, I need to completely pivot my mindset and really like to reinvent myself, I never had doubt. Because there is nothing stop me or nobody holding me back. And I think that's very important. At that moment of my life, I did surround myself with a group of people that are very supportive, they're very positive, they're loving me unconditionally. And I think that's what makes the difference. The environment matters.
What part of this reinvention, aside from the physical, is in your horizon? What else are planned to do? How are you moving forward and leveling up?
I think the way I plan to level it up, it's really like be more busy with work, be more visible, be more active in acting. And then, I'm still building my platform for social media. And I also want to contribute somehow with the things that I've experienced, maybe perhaps go back to, to promoting, to producing events like beauty pageants.
Or going back on television?
Yeah, going back on television. I think that would be such a great platform to have like a show like this, where I can actually share my experience.
I can talk to you for hours.
I can talk to you for hours too. To have experience too. Just have real talk with real people, because I've seen the way that television in the Philippines somehow happened in the past. And I did feel that a lot of people that are involved, they're not really real. And I think there is a need for real people to come forward and to actually like share a light in a lot of events and opinions of things that are happening that actually going to help someone. There is a lot of things that happen on TV in the past that I don't think that somehow it inspired people or it helped them in any way. It's just puro chismis.
Yes.
And I think that I understand that's entertaining, but I think there is so many other ways that you can actually be of a good influence to other people and that help to uplift their life and their mindset and the way of thinking and help society in general. But, having the right people on TV saying the right things.
I love that, because now you've embraced yourself. What was that one moment when you said, Priscilla, you're going to have to pick yourself up and you're going to have to love yourself, embrace yourself, change yourself? What was that moment and where were you?
Okay, it happened sometime 2 years ago. Something very bad happened. I cannot share exactly
That's fine.
What happened. but something that should have never happened.
Okay.
And I said, okay, from this point on, I need to pick myself and I need to completely change my outlook of life. And I need to show these people that are treating me unfairly that I can do so much more. And they're not going to define me,
yes,
who I am.
Right now, even if you don't say what happened, I can feel the pain
Oh
coming
yeah,
out.
it's still painful. It's something that I'm still working on. But that moment, I said to myself, they cannot treat you like that, no longer. And you're gonna prove to them and you're gonna really like show them what you're capable of and that they cannot put a good woman down. So that moment, I think it was a pivot moment in my life. And from that point on, I planned everything that came next. So sometimes some people would say like, oh, you know, maybe they say I talk too much. And I do talk a lot, by the way.
That's why I can talk to you for hours.
I do talk a lot. I think it comes out through my personality, you know. I really talk a lot of things that come into my mind. I do filter things, you know. I'm very sensitive about the things that I say. But I mean, it just really comes from my heart. So when it comes through your heart, from your heart, it's really like genuine. So I think why not, right?
Talking about your heart, have you healed?
My heart?
From your previous relationship, or are you still working on it, or there's a difference, emotional,
Yes.
the mental. I'm not even gonna say the physical part
Yeah.
because we can see that you're completely healed.
Thank
but
you.
have you compartmentalized the emotional and the mental side of it? Have you healed on both sides?
Well, in terms of, I came to terms even 2 years ago
Yes.
that I don't want to be in that relationship anymore. So that was not an overnight decision. Now, for the things that happen within the relationship that I think that it shouldn't have never happened, I'm still working on.
And how are you working on that?
It's really like through processing things on my own, and sometimes today I feel more comfortable sharing with other people that I trust,
Nice.
even with my mom, because
You weren't sharing things with her?
no, I was not sharing with anyone because a lot of things I was very ashamed of.
Yes.
I couldn't share because I didn't want them to see myself with different eyes. I don't want them to see me as weak. So there is a lot of things that I kept to myself, and I tried to process the best way I could during the time. And then today, I feel more comfortable in sharing things and processing through things.
Yes.
And then
Is that helping you heal?
Yes.
The sharing.
The sharing helping. That's why I believe that it's good. A big part of actually healing, it's actually letting it come out from your mouth, what happened to you. And we should never be ashamed or scared of saying the truth, speaking the truth. So
That's
sharing.
advice number 3 from Priscilla Meirelles. Yeah.
Yeah, so sharing with the people that I trust, because there is also a very thin line of
Talking
what
about-
you
yeah.
can say and to who you can
Yes.
say.
What about
right?
trust? How do you now balance that? Because of course there's traumas in any
Yes,
breakup,
yes.
whether you're married or you're dating or whether it's your
Yeah.
best friend or whatever. There's always a part of your trust that gets diminished.
Yes.
How are you now filtering that trust bit
Oh
with
my
the people
gosh, it's
that you-
hard, huh, Ferdi? It's so hard because when I see a pattern of behavior that I recognize
Yes.
in my past partner or in past relationships that fail, like friendship or anything, it kind of the red flag goes up right away. And nowadays I'm less forgiven of those things. So I really find a way of freeing myself from that relationship or from that engagement.
What are your triggers?
Okay, number one, I would say is really do not walk the talk. The lack of consistency. You say you're gonna do something and then you don't do it. Or, you say something but you're acting differently.
So, okay, in that context, you obviously you still have to converse. I mean, you still need to be in
Some way,
in some ways, right? So you still talk to each other. You communicate rather.
Yeah, with my past partner.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to communicate with him when it comes to things related to my daughter. Such as tuition fee or
The financial bit.
Of course. Actually, that's the only time we're communicating nowadays is about the financial. And of course, if there is like a major, for example, if I travel somewhere with her, or if she has an event, I make sure that I advise him, oh, by the way, Anechka has a play. If
Can
you
you
want
come?
to,
Yeah.
can you come?
Yeah.
And things like that. But aside from that, I don't really communicate much. I avoid because it was very complicated in the beginning, and I need to put boundaries to protect my heart and my my mind,
Yeah, that's an
my mental health.
Yes, that's an interesting concept. Obviously, John also has his thoughts about this, and there's
Yeah,
always
of course.
two sides to a coin. And but right now, what's going on is, of course, financially he's providing.
Yeah, he's providing now
What
financially,
about the
yes.
emotional bit? Is he providing for that
What do you
for your
mean?
daughter?
The-
Like
yeah,
the
yeah.
support.
Yeah, he as much as possible, I believe that he reaches out. He loves his daughter. I have no doubt that's something that was never
Yes, yes.
a issue. I think now that he doesn't share a home with her, he's making more effort to see her more often, which I appreciate. And
Okay. So the conjugal homes no longer.
No longer, yeah. There's more than a year already. So we've
Okay.
been in separate houses. So he always reach out, and I always make sure she's available. Even if I have lakad with her, kung may lakad ako, I actually put aside my plans to make sure that she can, see the dad. And then they did travel one time together.
That's great. Does that make you feel good that she's
Yeah,
spending time
it's
with
very
her
good
father?
because I think it's very important to have the presence of the father in her life, and that's something that I would never wanted to compromise, no matter
Nice, because
what
some
happened between us.
Some
It's
couples,
important.
when they break up,
They use the kid now.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
not good. It becomes in the middle of the war. No, I make
So
sure.
that didn't even become a factor in your head. I'm going to,
No, not at all. Because it's not my daughter's. I love her too much to use her as an instrument for hurting her father. I have no intention of hurting my ex, no matter what he's done to me. I have no intention of hurting him. My intention is just like, I just want to make sure that we are okay and what is fair. And I think he gets that. I hope he gets that. And I know that my daughter gets that. So the end of the day, the welfare of the bata is the pinaka-importante bagay. So I want to make sure that she has the present father, and of course she has a present mother, because that's very good for her mental health,
Absolutely.
growing up.
But talking about health, look at you. Skin glowing, grace under fire. What do you
you.
want to tell women that feel like their best years are behind them?
That's never too late. That's never too late for you to start again, to dream bigger. Your limitations are just like as big as your dream. So if you start to think of yourself as small, or that's it's the end, that will be the end. So the mind is very powerful. And one of the things that I've learned through the years, and one of the things that I've learned through experience, is that what you believe you are. So I do remember that going to my body transformation, I didn't make this mood board, and I always say that, I always share. And actually, my mom has one now, my friend has one, everybody has this mood board.
I love it.
Because I put the things that I want to, to become there. And
Talking about that, sweetie, what about your daughter? What would you like her to become? What's a message to your daughter, and what you want her to become?
Oh my gosh, she is so talented. She is so amazing, beautiful inside out. I really want her. She's into music, and she believes that one day she can become the next Taylor Swift. And I tell her, you will, and I'm here to back you up. So the message that I always give to her is that whatever she wants to be, she will be, as long as she believes and she works hard for it. So right now she's just 13. She's still enjoying a lot of things, but she's very, she's a go-getter. So she's always like trying to strive hard for the studies. She's always being honored this, honored that, getting so many awards in school. The school always calls her for every event.
You don't want her to become a doctor?
Honestly, it's not really what I want. It's more like what makes her happy.
Nice.
So in the end of the day, I actually would love her to pursue beauty pageants. That she's very vocal, saying that she does not want to. And then I told her, okay, baby, let's not talk about this right now. Because that could be a great stepstone for a career, right? It's good. So she wants to be a singer, songwriter. So I told her, okay, if that's what you want, start write. So she already writes her songs. She composes her, makes her music. So my message to her is really like, believe in yourself, always. Never doubt your capability. We just, as big as we think we are. So it's not about being mayaban. It's about being confident in the right place.
Wow.
You do not,
Priscilla, wow.
you do not try to, prove that you're better than anyone. You need to prove that you're better than your version yesterday.
Yes.
So it's always aiming for improvement.
Words of wisdom for the beautiful, energetic Priscilla Meirelles. I've had a wonderful conversation with you this morning, and it was real.
Yes,
Thank you.
it was real.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Thank
and
you.
Of course, it's a great thing that you came and had a chat with us. She may have worn the crown over 2 decades ago, but today Priscilla Meirelles wears something far more powerful: self-worth, resilience, and purpose. Her story reminds us that true beauty is transforming pain into strength. This is a woman who didn't just make a comeback. She reclaimed her right and her light. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news, always stay at the forefront. Join us again on Monday for meaningful insights on issues that matter. On behalf of Attorney Karen Jimeno, this is Ferdi Salvador. Have a great weekend and see you again next week.